Won't you take me back to Tennessee?
The award-winning Tennessee WildCast is on the air with the latest info about hunting, fishing, boating, wildlife watching, and all things outdoors. This year, we celebrate the men and women of the TWRA responsible for 75 years of wildlife conservation. Now make welcome your host, Jason Harmon.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Tennessee WildCast. We're glad you're tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. It's another great show for you today, and it's the 400th episode.
Can you believe that, Jason? 400. 400.
Wow. It's hard to believe that we've done 400 of these.
I know. It's crazy.
It's been a long, fun ride.
It has.
We're going to keep going.
Yeah, that's right. Only the beginning.
That's the voice of Don King right there, and I appreciate him helping me co-host today.
Sure.
It's just me and him today. We're going to cover a few things and have a fun conversation, but we're glad y'all are out there listening and joining us. So
yeah. Hey, you mentioned the 400th show, and we can't think about our Wildcast without mentioning Doug Markham. I mean, he was the brainchild behind a lot of the things here at TWRA communications wise years gone by, and you worked under Doug, and you guys kind of came up with the overall concept of Wildcast, and we've tweaked it here and there along the way, but gosh, I mean, Doug had for years, I'm thinking like 15, maybe close to 20 years of radio experience right here in Nashville market, and on the talk shows, and did an early morning Saturday show. I mean, I remember hauling the guitar down there at 5 a.m. on Saturday mornings a few times, and talking to Doug about what's going on at the agency. And so kudos to you for keeping the tradition going. And it's a neat ride, and I'm glad it's continuing.
Yeah, it's been a fun ride for sure, and I'm proud of what we put together here, and I hope people really enjoy what we put out and get some good information from it. And so yeah, it's been fun, and we're going to keep rolling along. It's the 75th anniversary of the agency, and
yeah,
there's a lot to celebrate there. And
back when Doug started this concept with the radio show, there was not such a thing as a podcast. There was not a video podcast. It was just, strictly a radio show. And if you missed it, you missed it.
Yeah,
if you didn't get up that early. But nowadays, hey, our show's out there kind of forever and ever, really. Once it gets out there on the social media platforms and on the airwaves. And speaking of airwaves, hey, radio, we're going to do a little shout out to 93.9 The Duck, Lynchburg, Tullahoma, and Shelbyville, the markets that station covers, and we appreciate them so much. Saturday mornings at 7 a.m. You can hear us every Saturday morning there at 93.9 The Duck. And so anyway,
yeah, we love our radio partners, and cross our fingers we got one more that might jump on. So that's another. Looking
forward to spreading the word about that one.
Yeah, another station that might jump on here pretty soon. So that's very cool. And speaking of the 400th episode, I wanted to just kind of reflect a little bit. We got a little bit of time here. I thought we might just reflect on some of the shows that stood out to us.
Yeah.
Throughout our time here and producing this show. You mentioned earlier a few directors and commissioners that we've had on.
Yeah.
It's we can't forget about those guys. We had that on Director Carter on for the first episode. I think he was on the first episode of WildCast.
That's right.
And then, later Bobby Wilson and then Jason Maxedon. They've all been on. Great guests, and we've had them on a couple times here and there. So, and even with their new roles that they're doing and in retirement and things like that, they've come back on. And
that's right. And I remember Director Maxedon. I think we had him on for our 300th show out at Gooch. WMA, I believe. We were outdoors on location that time, and golly, it doesn't seem like that long ago. 100 shows ago.
Yeah,
close to 2 years time. So time has flown by. But And I think back some of our favorite shows that you were mentioning, the one that you and Doug did with Bill Dance on the banks of the Kentucky Lake.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was something special.
That was one of the very early episodes too. We did a two-part episode, and we were sitting on the lakeside there. First time I got to meet Bill Dance, so that was cool, and had a great conversation with him. And he's done a show with us since then.
Right.
He did a recording for us, kind of through the lens there.
The COVID years, wasn't it? He kind of had to phone his part in, but it worked out great.
Yeah, it worked out good. So
we enjoyed it, and I think back about that show, and that was before we developed a lot of radio partners, so we didn't have that 28 minutes and 30 seconds to worry about. Yeah. If you guys went 3 hours with Bill Dance, that was cool,
Yeah. Podcasts don't have to be a certain length.
I know, yeah.
But since, we're working with TV and radio, and we love our radio and TV partners, we get to spread the word through those outlets. So we try to control the length of time. So if we run out, we'll just have to do another show,
Exactly.
But yeah, we really do enjoy putting this together. And all the guests we've had over the years, I got some written down here. Governor Bill Lee came on with us a few years ago. It was early in his career as governor, and you mentioned Bill. Let's see, Lauren Watkins. When it comes to country music, Lauren Watkins has come on.
She is on fire, isn't she?
Yeah, she's touring with Morgan Wallen right now.
Yeah, all over. We were just noticing she's over in Europe coming up, just knocking it out, and great singer and songwriter, and she and her sister, I think, team up on some songwriting as well. And man, it was neat to have her on while we could still afford her. I mean,
yeah, she's going to be big time. Well, and then Brian White's a good friend of the agencies and the foundation, and
yes,
he's come on multiple times, done a show with us, and Brian's a great guy, great musician and artist. Chris Hennessy, a longtime friend of mine, came on recently, and he wrote the theme song for our new intro kind of thing. He wrote a song, and he wanted to make that the theme song for the 75th anniversary, and we've kind of adapted it for WildCast too. And
that's a music video you can go online and watch too, on our YouTube channel.
It's out there to check out for sure. Yeah. Ryan Callahan from Meat Eater, he came on and did a show with us when he was in town for something else one time.
Right.
That was a great conversation to get to meet him and have him on.
Okay, Ott Defoe. Yeah. And we got him the year he won the Bassmaster Classic in Knoxville, 2019. Mm-hmm. We went to his man cave garage, did the show in front of his boat.
Yeah. I mean, trophy sitting
on the table.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. You and Matt did that show together, and that was something special.
And don't forget, you can go back and watch all these.
Oh, I know.
They're still out there.
We're just teasing them here.
One that keeps coming up, and we really love having him in, is John Dalton.
Yes.
Creek Fishing Adventures.
Uh-huh.
Those are always fun. He's got some fun adventures to share with us.
Man, he's got so many followers out there. I hadn't looked lately to see what he's up to, but golly, it's just crazy.
Yeah, he's a fun guy, really good guy. Jason Holland was a frequent flyer here for a long time, and he's president of Cash and Fishing.
Yeah.
So Cash and Fishing rods, if you're familiar with those rods, great all-American made product, and he's running that company now, and we're going to try to get him back on.
Relocated to North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but yeah, he loves to come back and fish. So hopefully we can line that up this coming year.
Yeah. One other one, Earl Bance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That was a fun show at his new manufacturing facility, Camus Boats.
That was our loudest show, I remember. Yeah. Because we had, we've got these headphones that we use on the road that have little, that Emily likes to call them the Britney Spears mic,
I'd really go NSYNC or something.
Yeah, NSYNC. Yeah, I'll go with that too. Backstreet Boys or something.
There you go.
But anyway, we did that show in there, and I remember your headphone, your channel quit working or something.
I could not hear anything.
Jason was standing on the other end. I was standing between Jason and Earl
Yeah.
Bentz, and we were in his factory. They were building boats right behind us. There's power tools going off, and just the roar of the construction of these beautiful boats going on in the background. I kind of had to interpret for Jason a few times because Earl would say something and I could hear it in my right ear, and then
I just keep nodding.
I'd kind of have to translate it. But we got through it, and he's a great guy, and we appreciate his brainchild was the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Foundation, and his seed money that got that thing going.
And he's a big supporter and continues to support by offering a boat for the raffle.
Big time this year, yeah.
That's really cool. If you're going to get your name in the hat for the conservation raffle this year, you have a chance to bring home a Camus boat.
Man, yeah. It just keeps getting better and better.
Bigger and better, for sure. Well, I thought now would be a great time to introduce folks to our new award that we received.
Yeah.
We did bring home first place this year for the Association for Conservation Information Awards for Best Audio Program and Podcast. So right there it is, folks.
Hold it up proudly there, Jason.
We submitted one of our shows, another show that was great, the Birds, Books, and Backyard Picking. We did that show at the
at the Discovery Park Museum out in Union City.
Sure enough, we did that show out there. That was a great show, and that's the one we submitted for the award. And sure enough, we won first place this year. And this is not the first ACI award. We've got a couple more. Don's got them over there.
Yeah, we brought home a second place a while back as well.
2018, it was a second and third.
Yeah. I was a little surprised to win second and third place both
in the same year.
That year, but anyway, we've got those.
But it's just cool to be nominated for this kind of stuff, and then the opportunity to bring the plaque home is even better. But
speaking of nominations, what about Carbon TV?
Yeah, we're on Carbon TV now. That's another great platform to watch outdoor conservation content. We were nominated for the Best in Conservation Education, and we're still waiting to hear back on that.
Yeah.
So, once we know more, we'll share it with you. Hopefully, we can bring that one home too. But yeah, it's just an honor to be nominated for that kind of stuff, and chance to bring it home and share with all the folks who've been on the show and made the content great.
Right.
It's not anything we're doing. It's the guests that we have and the information we're able to share makes it great shows, and guys like Todd behind the board make
I was just going to say, man,
look good.
Todd has gone over the top the last couple years in bringing a lot of great visuals to this show, for the TV side and for the YouTube presentation of it, the parts that you use on social media, the reels and the stories and things that tell the story in about 60 seconds or 90 seconds.
Yeah.
How he does that, I don't know. He's got this magic wand back there, I think he waves, but it takes him a lot of time.
Yeah.
He spends a lot of hours crafting, working his craft and making these shows so good. So.
Yeah, definitely. So if you follow us on social media and you see these minute versions, there's more out there. Go watch the full show.
Yeah.
There's a lot in that minute and a half, but that just kind of teases you to go watch and listen. So good stuff that's being put together, and appreciate Todd and all the hard work he puts in on that for sure. It's a few days after the commission meeting. I guess it was. Let's hold on. I about skipped something, didn't I, Tom?
Go for it.
The public input period. I wanted to touch on that. There's a public input period for fishing right now. If you go to our website tnwildlife.org, you can scroll down to the newsroom, TWRA News, and inside the newsroom you'll see the release for the comment period. Right now is a chance for you to just voice some concerns, voice what you want to about fishing in Tennessee.
Right. And
there's a form stack there. You click the link in the release, and you can drop down a menu, pick your species, and comment on it. And now this is not regulations at this point. This is just
suggestions really. Kind of the suggestion box. A lot of, guys are busy, you know, and I mean, ladies too. You just a lot going on in life, and sitting down and writing a letter or a deep thinking email, you know, you might not have time for that, or the deadline goes by and you think, oh man, I should have commented on that. But you have made it easy with that form stack, really. I mean, I was looking at it earlier today. Like you said, pick out your species. Say you're a trout guy. You know, you drop down to trout, and then you just put your comment right below it. And then if you got something about bass or smallmouth, whatever, same kind of thing. And I guarantee you, and then all that gets collated into a big spreadsheet that all the experts look at, and you know they pay attention to that stuff, don't they, Jason?
Yeah, definitely. It's it doesn't go unseen. It's reviewed and looked at and considered for when they put their proposals out there for the next year. You know, our fisheries guys are on boots on the ground or waders in the water, maybe, you know, getting the data and doing the reports and doing the studies, and they come back with those recommendations, but they also look at some of the public input to see where that falls. But yeah, make your comments now, and then come September for the commission meeting, they'll be rolling out some, you know,
some proposals.
Right? So just be ready for that, and we appreciate that input, and then you can comment on the proposals once those are out.
Yeah,
have another form out there for you to do that. So, but speaking of commission meetings, we're on the tail end of one, and we're on the heels, whatever the phrase is, and just wanted to highlight some of that for you. If you didn't get to go or didn't get to tune in online, it's still out there, so you can go watch the meeting.
I didn't get to attend. Like normal, this is the first one I've missed in a long time. But anyway, I wasn't able to attend. We had a vacation scheduled and conflict. But anyway, I was able to watch, you know, go online, watch the whole thing.
Yeah. Hey, thanks to Farm Bureau there in Columbia for
great hosts, weren't they?
Great facility there. The headquarters for Tennessee Farm Bureau, and great room.
Yeah,
had some great internet, so we had a great feed for folks to watch at home, and
we're spoiled after that one.
Yeah, it was a good meeting spot. So, but we just thought we would cover some of the highlights here, some of the top things that were covered, and then you can go back and get all the details on those, and you know.
Hey, speaking of meetings, though, I'd just like to toss in an encouragement if the TFWC Fish and Wildlife Commission comes to your town or somewhere close by, and you want to just come check out the proceedings, even if you don't have a comment or whatever. It's an interesting meeting to take in sometime. You know, we have them during the day. Typically the first day starts at 1:00 and goes the rest of the afternoon. And then the next morning, typically the Friday, we start at 9 and, you know, done by 11 or so. And it's interesting. I think you'd enjoy being there and seeing what all goes on. But like you said, Jason, I mean, even if you can't make it in person, every meeting is out there. You can go back and review or see upcoming meetings as they get posted.
Exactly. While I'm pulling this up, I want to read out what's online. Will you hit that top point there? So we had some highlights on private lands stuff going on.
Let's see. Private land. Oh, yeah. Private lands and sharecrop program update. David Lohman, private lands habitat biologist, did that presentation and talked about the upcoming deer season. Am I okay to keep going?
Well, let's stop right there at the public lands. Yeah, I wanted to make sure I had this pulled up so I could make sure I had all the information here. But
okay.
Our private lands guys put a lot of work into helping landowners improve their habitat, improve their property for habitat for wildlife on their property. And we've got some great people across the state, and those that work for us directly with us. Chris Hunter is in Region 1, Clint Borham's Region 2, Richard Underwood is in Region 3, and Stephen Thomas in 4. But, David Lohman was there at the meeting, and he presented, his expertise and kind of what he does. And I, from what I gathered, he's very good with prescribed fire. But he just highlighted some of the programs, some of the tools, some of the people that you can reach out to, to improve your property.
And as a reminder, 95% of the land in Tennessee is privately owned. So we can only manage and increase the habitat on so much of it, or the parts that we can control. So, but there's so many landowners out there that have really come around to a lot of these techniques and really wanting to enhance their property for wildlife. And they may be interested in one species, but once they impact one species, it helps everything virtually. So it's a pretty amazing program.
So tnwildlife.org. Once you're there, click on the wildlife or the hunting tab, and then it'll take you to that page. Then you can click on habitat management, private lands management assistance is also there. But yeah, check that out. Find somebody in your neck of the woods if you want some assistance on your property. Yeah, deer season. So we covered the upcoming deer season. Just kind of to reiterate the new harvest management units.
You know what?
We've covered
There's
that.
a podcast on that, isn't there?
We have really covered that a lot here on the show.
Mark and Sonia were on, and you guys did a great job of going into detail about all that.
Thank you. So go back and watch that show. Go back and listen to the commission meeting on that. But there are some changes this year, but it's not that complicated.
Nope.
If you just read the guide, it's very clear. What seasons are open, what areas are open, how many deer you can take in a certain area, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So don't just go off a memory of what happened last year.
Because you won't be right.
Yeah. In some cases, you will not be right. So then let's see, what else did we discuss? Black bears in Gatlinburg. This is the time of year when bears are active and getting into trash or visiting the city of Gatlinburg.
Right.
We just wanted to remind people of the Proclamation 2415 prohibiting the feeding of black bears in Gatlinburg, and this was established in 2000, so it's not new. It's been out there for a while, but we wanted to do this presentation to remind everyone and to show a renewed commitment for the TWRA and the city of Gatlinburg to enforce this proclamation. Because there's been bears active and been in the news here lately. I'm sure you've seen it, but
everybody wants to see a bear too, especially when you're on vacation in the Smokies.
Right.
Oh man, if I could see a bear, and a lot of people try to encourage that, by trying to feed them or
intentionally feeding. But I mean, with this, it's the unintentional. Feeding. It's leaving the garbage unsecure,
right,
and leaving food out, which then attracts the bear, and it's unintentional. But a notice, you give a notice on this, and then we're hammering down, going to lock down on some of this.
Thing of it is, it's a constant education period for all the folks coming, because they're maybe there one weekend every year or every couple years, and it's hard to just keep singing the same old song, but we're singing the same old song, and the city is really getting serious, like you said, about making sure that people comply.
Yeah. So if you're in Gatlinburg or in the area there, Sevierville, Pigeon Forge area, lock the trash. If you see a can that's not locked, lock it for them. Don't leave food out, especially not on your porch there, at your cabin or something like that. Make sure you put it away.
We just recently did a video, a quick clip to encourage people to do just that. And it's amazing to see how many bears know how to open a car door now. They can, and once they get in, that door closes, the car is trashed.
Yeah.
So you just, you buy a new car.
That's one of the signs. You lock it, secure it, and put it away. So like your bird feeders, put your bird feeders up certain times of the year.
Right.
Your trash, latch it. Your car, lock it. Secure it. And anyway, it's important.
It is.
So there were a few revisions to Proclamations 2416, 2417. Or actually, those were the proclamations. The revision was being done to 2406 and 2407. There was nothing changed there. It was just the wording was misprinted or typed wrong, or it said sunset versus sunrise or something like that. I can't remember the exact issues on some of those, but those are just
housekeeping issues. I think
housekeeping. Yeah, nothing was changed. Still the same hunting seasons this year, trapping, etc. But just wanted to clear that up in the proclamation.
Yeah.
Budget committee met, and the FY26 budget requests and the FY25 budget expansions were passed. So you can read up on those or watch and learn more about the budgets there. Don, do you want to share something?
Yeah, a little bit. Just real basic stuff. There's a slide that Frank Fisk put up on the screen during the meeting that just kind of gives you a breakdown on where our funds come from. 44% of the wildlife funding comes from license sales, and 33% comes from federal reimbursement, and that would be
Pittman Robertson.
Yes, PR coming from ammunition, firearms, outdoor equipment, all the things that the outdoor stores pay an excise tax on that eventually comes back to our state based on the number of licenses we sell. And then on the boating side, 51% comes from boating registration, 51% of our funding. 25% comes from federal reimbursement, kind of similar to the Pittman Robertson. And then 24% comes from gasoline tax. So when you gas up at the marina, a portion of that comes back to us through that gasoline tax.
And just like that,
amazing.
Time flies on a show.
I know.
You hear that music and you know it's time to go. So I'm going to run through these fairly quickly, but it's not because they're not important. Darren Ryder started with the agency in 1985, and he shared some then and now. He's retiring, so we recognize Darren, Colonel Darren Ryder, and appreciate all the work he's done throughout the years.
Sure do.
Montana Mickelson, 2023 Boating Officer of the Year, presented by Lieutenant Colonel Matt Majors. He started in the WERP program as an intern. Montana did, and so anyway, he received that award. That was cool. Cash Daniels, the conservation kid, we had him on a WildCast, and our director of communications and marketing, Emily Buck, recognized him. Commissioner Grant Berry read the proclamation. So that was a great presentation there. Appreciate Cash and what he does for conservation. Also, we recognize some folks from TDOT, FFA, and 4-H. Some great presentations there. It was a great meeting. Like I said, go to tnwildlife.org and click on the commission page. You can go watch these commission meetings. Go to our YouTube page. You can see it there. Watch it live when we're having the meetings. You can watch live on YouTube. But just thanks for tuning in, and we're going to run out of time, Don. Thank you for helping make 400 episodes happen. You bet. And thank you guys for covering the commission meeting last week. Yep, you're welcome. You're welcome. Well, this is Tennessee WildCast. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And we'll see you next time for episode 401.
Stay connected with TWRA by visiting our website at tnwildlife.org and follow us on Facebook, X, and Instagram. Join us as we celebrate 75 years of conservation in our great state. You can invest in Tennessee's wildlife future by purchasing a license at GoOutdoorsTennessee.com. That's GoOutdoorsTennessee.com.